Alright, we're recording now. There's one of our other three, and I'm the cameraman behind it.
Okay. Clean eating. It's all about eating tofu, dirt, and water, right? No? Okay, then it must be all about just eating salads. Salads all the time. 24 hours a day, right? No? No, actually, it's about eating foods bursting with nutrition as well as flavors. You do eat a lot of plants. You want to eat your food as close to nature as possible. You want it to be less processed, so you're going to eat lots of fruits, vegetables, that sort of thing. But you also include a lot of lean meats. The only thing you want to watch with your meats, of course, is the leanness of them. Also, that they're not a highly processed meat. A lot of meats, you know, your hot dogs, your lunch meats, your bolognas, that's going to be a high processed meat. Those you're going to avoid a little more, but your steaks, your roast, that kind of stuff, all good to eat. You're going to also eat a lot of whole grains. You're going to avoid grains that are broken down into glue. You're going to stick to your brown rice, whole wheat, barley, millet, farro, buckwheat, and whole oats. Steel cut is the best for whole oats, but whole oats are good. Second thing you're going to do is you're going to read your labels. You got to check your ingredients very carefully. You might pull a loaf of bread off the shelf. It says wheat bread. Okay, I'm buying wheat bread today. Look at your ingredients. Your first ingredient is probably enriched white flour. How can it be whole wheat bread or wheat bread if its first ingredient is enriched white flour? The fewer the ingredients on the label, the better. That means it's less processed. Usually you want 3 to 6 ingredients on each of the, or 3 to 6 ingredients. Make sure you can pronounce the ingredients. If you're gonna, if you can't pronounce the ingredient, it's probably not good for you. You're going to eat 4 to 5 times a day. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to eat more. You're just going to cut some of your bigger meals into smaller meals. Eat them. Okay, a few basics for you to get started with. As I said, you don't want nothing white. No refined sugar, no white flour, no white rice. No alcohol, pure sugar. Nothing high in fat, unless it's a good fat. You don't want no trans fat. You want to watch your saturated fats. You want those to be a very low percentage. I believe it's about 7% of your daily calories should come from saturated fat only. Your mono and your polyunsaturated fats are your good fats, so those ones you can eat more of. You're going to eat lots of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean meats. Prep ahead of time is key. Chop up your vegetables, put them in the fridge. Marinate your chicken breasts, put them in the fridge. Prepare your meals ahead of time and put them in the fridge or freezer. That way you're not tempted to just grab a box out of the cupboard. You got your good food right in front of you. When you go to the grocery store, you're probably going to have to make a list. There's going to be a lot of things that are different that you haven't usually bought. So the first times you go to the grocery store, your cart's going to look fuller. It's probably going to cost a little more. But as you get the spices and the more nutritional food in your pantry, each week it's going to get a little less. There are substitutions you can make. You can make just about any one of your favorite recipes with just a few substitutions. It's going to make it a lot healthier. Don't necessarily have to do all the substitutions in the recipe either. You can even just changing a few things really makes it a lot better. Your sugars get changed to honey, brown rice syrup, maple syrup, or pure stevia. You got to be careful with the stevia. There's a lot of brands out there that say they're stevia, but they're they've been processed, so they're not. You can find several conversion charts online to be able to know how much sugar, because your sugars you're not going to use exactly the same. All your butters in your recipes are going to be changed to oil. Olive oil is the best. It's of the easier ones to find. You can use grapeseed oil, but it's a little harder to find, but it's actually the best. Or applesauce can be used, or a combination of oil and applesauce. Egg whites, if you got more than 1 to 2 eggs in your recipe, you want to use egg whites instead of the full egg. White flour gets replaced with whole wheat pastry flour. Another thing the main thing you're really trying to do by clean eating is avoiding processed food. 90% of Americans' money is spent on processed foods. Some synthetic chemicals can cause cancer. It also causes obesity. A lot of processed foods are high in sugar, high in fats, and much lower in nutrients and fibers. So they cause an unhealthy weight gain and water retention. They can also cause heart disease. Many contain trans fat, which rises your LDL, your bad cholesterol, and squashes your HDL, your good cholesterol. Your taste buds get used to that strong flavor of processed food, and so when you go to eat natural foods, you want to add salt, you want to add sugar, you want to add all kinds of stuff to it. But if you start to eat better, over time your taste buds will change back to enjoying the natural flavors, and you'll love them. Then you'll go to eat processed food and it won't even taste the same anymore. Also, some processed foods contain undistinguishable parts and pieces, such as tongues, noses, ears. To make up for the loss of nutrients during processing, they add synthetic vitamins and minerals to make the nutritional label look good. Really, your body doesn't absorb much if any, of the synthetic vitamins, so it's really doing you no good anyways. So in conclusion, you don't have to be 100% perfect 100% of the time. Start out small. Don't try everything at once. Just try a few changes here and there. Like I said with the recipes, just change the sugar. Don't worry about the flour the first time, you know. Make small changes. Also, occasionally treat yourself. But a reasonable treat is one meal once a week, maybe every other week, maybe once a month. Not a whole week of total binge eating. So don't aim for perfection, just aim for being healthier. If you're interested in more information on the clean eating, here are a couple websites that you can find wonderful recipes and more information on it as well. And off the Gracious Pantry website, I did make these cookies.